Ha guys, let's get more news about Warriors, but first don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Stephen Curry, LeBron James and Kevin Durant recreated the iconic Team USA photo of Michael Jordan, Magic Johnson and Larry Bird in a chat with Landscape's Mark Spears. Warrior superstar Stephen Curry made it clear that he's appreciating every moment. According to Curry, he even recreated the iconic 1992 Dream Team photo in the modern day with himself, LeBron James and Kevin Durant. I know that this is probably my one and only Olympic playing experience, and I'm playing with guys I probably will never play with again at this level. It's special, said Curry. Me, Kevin Durant and LeBron took the same picture that MJ, Michael Jordan, Larry Bird and Magic Johnson took during the 1992 Olympics. I can't wait to get that on my wall and get them to sign it. It's just an honor knowing what we've all done in our careers, the fact that we are the elder statesmen with LeBron still playing at a high level. The photo in question goes back to 199. When Team USA assembled arguably its best roster to date, the three best players in the world at the time, Jordan, Bird and Magic, were all together on the same team, and it was a surreal experience for everyone who witnessed. To this day, the photo of them together in the same jersey is one of the best moments in the sport. It's no surprise that the 1992 Dream Team won the gold that year, and they weren't down in history as one of the greatest basketball teams to ever take the court. While the legacies of Curry, LeBron and Durant are still actively being written, it's fair to say that they are the modern-day equivalent of the three superstars pictured above. Just like the Big Three in 1992, Curry, Durant and LeBron will be expected to lead the US to another dominance showing on the world stage and assert their dominance over other nations as the epitome of basketball performance so far. After a 5-0 performance in the exhibition games, they have been successful in the mission. Stephen 2x MVP has fulfilled his role as a knockdown shooter for the club, and his threat from the perimeter was huge for the United States in their undefeated exhibition run. LeBron James, 39, was arguably even more important after being voted as the team's best player in training camp. He's proven it on the court with several impressive gains, one of which includes a buzzer-beating layup over South Sudan, while Durant, a 2x champion, is still recovering from a calf sprain. He's expected to return to the lineup for the opening tournament game, and it should provide a major boost on offense for the USA. Whatever happens this summer, there is no question that each of the three stars has earned their place as icons of the sport. Now, at the end of their careers, they want to cement that legacy by coming together to help Team USA secure gold medal. Warriors Steve Kerr encouraged to follow President Prez path in major Olympic criticism in a way that well and truly belies his status as a four-time championship coach. Steve Kerr will constantly come under scrutiny and criticism from Golden State Warriors fans, whether it's the small three-guard lineups, other baffling rotation decisions, the lack of opportunity for Moses Moody, or even the use of Stephen Curry. Fans often have a gripe with something Kerr is doing. Rival fans may simply brush and laugh that off, suggesting that you couldn't possibly criticize a tenure head coach so easily when there's so much dysfunction and coaching merry-go-rounds going on at other franchises. Yet perhaps those fans are now starting to get a picture of what Warrior fans go through during a long regular season as head coach of Team USA. Kerr positives and negatives are now drawing wide-scale national and international focus. Despite going 5-0 in their pre-Olympic warm-up games, the US weren't overly convincing, particularly in their last two games against South Sudan and Germany, which they won by a combined 5 points. Kerr has come under fire as a result, particularly after he conceded that he did not do a great job of preparing his team against South Sudan. In a game Team USA trailed by 14 points at halftime and relied upon a LeBron James go-ahead shot in the final 10 seconds in a piece titled "America Welcome to the Steve Kerr Experience." Alex Swig of SF-Gate has unloaded in what can only be described as a fierce analysis of the 58-year-old's coaching that included a suggestion that he should step down in the same manner as President Joe Biden. Nothing ever seems urgent to this guy, and that's an underlying issue. The world is going to become intimately familiar with having a team this loaded with talent doesn't guarantee victory, it merely guarantees the absolute shame of coming up short. If that doesn't put some well-earned fear into his guts, I'm not sure what will. Alternatively, much like Joe Biden heroically stepped down, Eric Bolster is right there. Alex Swig, despite Kerr's flaws and the fact they finished 4th in last year's FIBA World Cup, Team USA star-studded roster are overwhelming favorites to win Golden Paris. If they fail, expect the blowtorch to be well and tr. Ollie on the head coach. Even more from a Warrior standpoint, K's role was reaffirmed last season when he signed a 2-year $35 million contract extension, which signaled the highest per annum deal ever handed to an NBA coach. Grade the trade's stunning 3-team proposal has Knicks and All-Star to Warriors. The Golden State Warriors off-season plans aren't hard to decipher. The front office wants to plant another All-Star next to Stephen Curry and Draymond Green. The departures of Klay Thompson and Chris Paul have freed up flexibility under the second tax apron, allowing the Warriors to operate more aggressively than they have since the Kevin Durant trade. Paul George was the first target, but a reluctance to part with top prospects led to the dissolution of those talks and Georg's eventual cross-country move to Philadelphia. Now the Warriors are poking around Utah Jazz All-Star of Laurie Markkanen. The only problem, well, the Dubs don't want to part with the top prospects, so talks have stalled. All of this is to say it sure would be nifty if the Warriors could land an all-star in a trade that doesn't require sacrificing their future, that takes them out of the mix for the true top-shelf players, but it does not preclude them from making a clever trade for a potentially undervalued asset over at heavy. Colin Luring proposed a 3-team trade centered around the New York Knicks, sending Julius Randle to Golden State with the Jazz roped in for ancillary purposes. There's something there. It's hard to cook up these trades without draft picks. Most 3-team behemoths stretch beyond one's suspension of disbelief, and yet the rough outline of this trade makes sense. I am not calling it probable nor particularly realistic, but there are elements worth chewing on. The Warriors basically turn Andrew Wiggins' bad contract, Kevin Looney's expiring deal, and the wild 4th best under-22 prospect into a 2-time All-Star. Randle doesn't always live up to his all-star billing, but the talent level and production are undeniable. He can be hard to envision in new schemes. All is such a unique player with singular strengths and unavoidable weaknesses, but he would add a new dynamic to the Warriors' offense. That much is absolutely certain. At 6'8" and 250 pounds, Randle is classically trained in the art of bullied ball. He hammers mismatches in the post, attacks smaller wings on straight-line drives, and throws his weight around with reckless abandon. There are times when he falls back on the mid-range jumper a little too much, but Randle's advantage creation, passing and 3-level scoring in the front court is an uncommon mixture. Golden State can get away with small ball lineups built around Draymond and Randle in the front court surrounding the Kentucky product, with limitless shooting Stephen Curry, Buddy Hield, Anthony Melton, Brandon Podmski. Golden State will have no trouble spacing the floor and giving Randle pockets of space to work within. He is not the most traditional Steve set player, but Golden State needs to change the dynamics of its team. Randle accomplishes that and gives fences a brute physical force to contend with while chasing Curry through his standard maze of screens. Jericho Sims essentially replaces Kevin Looney as the third-string center, clearing the runway for a sophomore breakout from Tracy Jackson Davis. Losing Moody hurts, but Randle is good enough to merit the risk. And you fan, what do you think of the situation of Julius Randle? Leave your opinion in the comments.